Joe to talk more about the weather. So, Joe, the story today has been kind of the tale of two different parts of the day. So I woke up this morning, lots of sunshine. It was a little warmer. I'm thinking, wow, this is going to be a great sunny day. And then a few hours later, I go into work and a few clouds here and there. And now it's definitely cloudy and it definitely looks like it's going to rain here pretty soon.
Yeah, you're spot on. That's exactly how it's going to go. The sun was nice to see this morning.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to get a whole lot this week, though, Maya. It looks, now that the sun is gone, we're going to have a fair amount of rain coming in. Not the whole week, but at times.
Okay, which we need rain.
We still do. Yeah, the drought monitor still has much of northern Michigan in a moderate or severe drought. So I know we've had rain recently, but it'll be good to get some more coming up here. So we'll take a look at that and what to expect the rest of the week and if there's any snow a little later.
All right, thanks, Joe. And let's take a look at one of our top local stories of the day. So hunting season is well underway here in northern Michigan, and hunters are really spread out all across the state and in some of the largest counties. And Mackinac County specifically, officials there are asking hunters specifically to download an app that they say it can be very special in case of an emergency. So what 3 words? That's the name of the app. It is supposed to make communicating exact locations easier. And our Daniel Zivian spoke with county officials to learn how the app works and how it can help.
I'm along the North Country Trail just outside of St. Ignace, but if I wanted to tell someone exactly where I was standing, I could say I'm at Flux Hurricanes Moguls. Or I could take a couple of steps this way and say that I'm at Airbrush Pronounced Whimpered. Crucially, for hunters up here for firearm deer season, this works anywhere around the globe. Mackinac County has used What 3 Words for 2 years. It divides the world into 10-foot squares, each with a unique 3-word name.
We have things like our business cards here. You see flyers out at restaurants and bars. You see signs out on the trailhead letting people know before they go out on the trails or into these remote areas, think about what if an emergency is going to occur and how am I going to tell people where they are at.
Tracy says the words are easier to grasp than coordinates and can narrow search areas in the wilderness. But Sheriff Ed Wilk says hunters shouldn't hinge all of their plans on a phone app.
Leave a plan with a family member or a trusted friend, somebody that knows when you're going out, when you plan to be back, and the general location where you're at. So if you don't return on time, we have an opportunity to start searching in a more defined area rather than just all of Mackinac County.
Tracy says the app is free for everyone. Its use coming at no cost to the taxpayer. Both the person and central dispatch should have the app for it to work efficiently.
We've actually had some calls already come in to our 911 dispatch center where the caller didn't know where they were at. The dispatcher was able to send them a link or guide them to the What 3 Words app, find their location, and then share that location backwards through the communication chains to the responders.
In St. Ignace, Daniel Zivian, UpNorthLive News.
And that was Daniel a little earlier on in the day. And here is Daniel live joining us now. Hey, Daniel, how's it going?
It's going well, Maya. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you as well. And very interesting story, but something that I think we need to start off with. So this is obviously an app that Mackinac County is using. But do we know that are other counties and other central dispatchers using this app?
I don't know for sure. I got the impression from Bryce that, there was some collaboration between other agencies here. Mm-hmm. It also seems like, given the way some of the materials were prepared, I couldn't get this confirmed, but I do get the general sense that although the app is free, they are somewhat campaigning for this, that they do prepare materials for, people to use to say, hey, scan the code, use the app, et cetera, et cetera. So I don't have it confirmed that other local agencies are using it. It would not surprise me, though, again, because unlike some other counties, even in Michigan, especially in the Upper Peninsula, things get so remote that this particular use case is kind of particular to places like Mackinac County and Chippewa County and Luce County.
And so really the goal of this app is if you are, let's say, in the middle of the woods hunting and an emergency happens and you're calling central dispatch and they ask you where you are, and you can't just say, oh, I'm in the middle of the woods, because you don't know your exact coordinates, most likely. That's where you could pull out this app and it would tell you 3 words of where you are, and that's what you would tell to Central Dispatch.
Yes, and it would also give you the coordinates. Part of the idea
Okay.
is that, it's not reinventing the idea of coordinates. It's the same concept, technically. The idea is a sort of that of accessibility.
Mm-hmm.
The idea that, you can say these words into the phone easier than potentially screwing up one of the numbers.
Sure.
Now, of course, you still have to be literate. Unfortunately, it really should be said that there's no such thing as a magic bullet, even for an app like this. As Sheriff Wilkes said, you still have to plan ahead.
Mm-hmm.
You still have to plan for the fact that you might not have cell service. So maybe if you know where your deer blind is and you can find the square for that on the app, then tell that to your loved ones in advance, as well as the other information they might need. And that can make things quicker. So, just before anyone gets any ideas, the app is not the magic bullet. It does not do absolutely everything in every single situation. You still got to be prepared.
Sure.
Just wanted to clear that up before we go further.
And if you are in the woods somewhere where it's a remote location, not a lot of cell service, there's a chance that the app might not work then at that moment.
Precisely, yeah. And again, that's why, Sheriff Wilkes said you should still tell your loved one when you're expected to be back so that they can call someone if you don't show up at the right time. It really is all about preparation. Just think of this as another tool in the toolbox.
Mm-hmm. And obviously it'd be a great tool for hunters, but it could be used in other situations too, right? You never know when you might find yourself in an unknown area in trouble.
Absolutely. My understanding from what I was able to read online is that this was not necessarily the original purpose of the app,
mm-hmm.
At least not as completely envisioned. The materials that I found referred to it being like, a way to find addresses for places without addresses. I don't know if they thought completely how much rescue and first responders might be interested in it. But I mean, the first thing that came to my mind is the situation I'm in sometimes. I'm driving along, I have to pull over somewhere. It occurs to me that I don't know where I've pulled over. I could tell if I had to call first responders for some reason, I could tell a dispatcher, well, I'm on US 2 past Nobbin Way, but I don't really know where after that. If I have cell service, the square will point it right to me because, and I cannot stress this enough, the squares are tiny.
Mm-hmm.
They've covered the entire world in these squares, and it's 10 feet by 10 feet. That's really, really small and precise.
And I downloaded the app just because I was curious how it worked. So it was really easy to download. And once I got in, it gave me like a few instructions, but I was kind of curious what my location is. So I put in my exact location inside of our studio, and my 3 words are heartless unless inaccurate. But if I click even to where Joe is, a little farther away, like in a different box, it says feelers, stones, equals. So it just kind of goes to show that, 10 by 10.
Yep.
There's a lot of different little boxes in our station.
Oh, yeah. And this app is in the English language, but you've got to extrapolate this to the entire world. You zoom out, you hover over any random country, and there will be English names of squares covering the circumference of the Earth. The scale is quite impressive in that regards. And for what it's worth, I am near obscure roadblocks sheds.
Huh. Well, there you go. And something else that's cool about this app is once you do have your exact location pinpointed, you can save that location on the app, you can share it with someone, or you can navigate to another location. So very interesting. I might have to play around with this a little more.
You might have to. And again, it does almost seem too good to be true. I'm sure there's people who have been paying attention and have been able to find edge cases where things have been difficult. I don't want this to sound too much like an advertisement. These functions are extremely cool. But again, we've always got to say, you still plan ahead. You do not rely completely on a phone app if you're going to go out into the wilderness. So just, be prepared for every eventuality.
Absolutely. Anything else you want to mention about this story?
Nope, just that I'm saying goodbye from Study Hacker Unveil for the evening.
All right. Thanks so much, Daniel, for that. And we are going to turn things over to a state story now. So Now that Donald Trump will be returning to the White House for a second term, there are a lot of questions, especially here in Michigan, related to the future of the auto industry and more specifically the future of the electric vehicle industry. So Mike Woolfolk with our sister station Downstate talked with two experts to get insight, and they both agree that the road forward will look a little different now.
I am proclaiming that by the end of my term, the entire world will be talking about the Michigan miracle and the stunning rebirth of Detroit.
When Donald Trump is sworn in as president on January 20th, America will see major changes on many fronts, including policies that impact Michigan's auto industry.
There are several pillars of his policy which I think directly and indirectly affect the auto industry.
Wayne State University business professor Merrick Masters believes Trump will move quickly to start delivering on campaign promises.
He ran on a platform clearly that he wants to promote deregulation.
That would include easing the corporate average fuel economy, or CAFE standards, which the Biden administration raised. Masters also points to plans to extend and possibly expand Trump's corporate tax cuts and push for more fossil fuel development, not less.
On day one of the Trump administration, I will terminate Kamala's insane electric vehicle mandate, and we will end immediately the Green New scam once and for all.
Detroit's Big Three and other automakers have been aggressively pursuing a conversion to EVs. Most have tapped the brakes on those plans. However, they continue to bring more electric vehicle models to market. But Trump and some auto workers believe EVs will cost jobs.
Our industry, the automotive industry, is on the line, and it's not going to die on my watch while we got this man running for president.
EVs require a lot fewer workers to manufacture than a gasoline-powered car.
University of Michigan Flint economics professor Chris Douglas says the EV conversion is a scary thing for auto workers, whose union officially endorsed Democrat Kamala Harris, but many union members supported Republican Donald Trump.
So President Trump might, kind of feel like he has to satisfy his promise to auto workers by protecting those jobs.
Douglas also expects Trump will roll back federal subsidies for automakers and tax incentives for consumers on EVs. And Wayne State's Merrick Masters says while it may appear Trump is anti-EV, he wouldn't go as far as to say that.
What he's saying is let's not mandate it so directly through emission standards and let the market play a greater role in determining how this transition takes place.
While GM, Ford, and Stellantis are all scaling back EV production based on demand, they are not abandoning the move to all EV lineups. But they are also promising hybrid options, along with keeping gasoline-powered vehicles in their lineups. I'm Mike Woolfolk reporting.
And I'm sure a lot of folks will be hopping in their cars for Thanksgiving this year. According to AAA, 2.6 million Michiganders and almost 80 million Americans are expected to travel 50 miles or more for Thanksgiving this year. That would actually exceed a pre-COVID record, and it would set a new record. So the insurance agency says the worst time to travel by car will be Tuesday and Wednesday afternoon. But Thanksgiving Day itself should be pretty clear on the roads. AAA is, of course, reminding people to plan for delays however you travel. So our question of the day today is, how far will you be traveling for Thanksgiving? 63% are staying home, 7% traveling out of state, and 30% are staying in Michigan. So if you haven't voted yet, scan that QR code on your screen right now, and you can vote through our website. Looking at our Facebook page, we had some pretty good comments, so I have to read them. Eric says, from our second floor to the first floor into the dining room. Mick says, from the dinner table to my man chair, 10 to 12 feet. Philip says 4 miles. Jamie says 5 miles on county roads. Terry, 15 miles to a restaurant. Kim says 2 blocks to my granddaughter's house. Bill says 271 feet. So the people commenting on our Facebook page aren't traveling too far. So if you haven't voted on our question of the day yet, again, you can scan the QR code that will show up during a commercial if you're watching online, or you can go to our UpNorthLive website and vote there. But we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in just a few minutes, and we'll bring Joe back into the conversation. Rain is coming, but how long will it stick around? He'll let you know in a few minutes.
I'm Jada Johnson from Big Boys TV, and the Fish and Game Report is sponsored by Johnson's Propane.
Hopefully you got outside this morning or early afternoon and enjoyed some sunshine, because it sounds like we might not be seeing that for a while. Let's turn things over to Joe. And as you mentioned, rain is coming. Are we all going to be seeing some rain tonight?
Yeah, I think by the time the sun comes up tomorrow morning, most of the area will have rain, kind of wet start tomorrow. So that's kind of what we're looking at. And then beyond that, too, Maya, a little bit wet this week. Let's go to Cadillac, and that's a look right now downtown. Baker College camera, and it's still dry. Rain is probably, looking at radar here, and I'll show it to you in a minute, about an hour and a half away from reaching the Cadillac area. And here's why. We have low pressure sitting over Kansas tonight, way down there, that big red L. That will head north, actually up toward Lake Superior, western Lake Superior into Minnesota. But all that rain is going to lift into the area along with that. So our outdoor conditions forecast, not the best tomorrow. We have rain and some wind blowing in here for tomorrow. And then we'll see scattered showers both Wednesday and also on Thursday. The only reason we didn't go red on Wednesday and Thursday and yellow instead is because I don't think it'll be an all-day type rain. But here it is. There's the rain coming in on radar, reaching or extending from Minneapolis all the way to southwest Michigan. A little closer look, there's the rain just now getting into Ludington, up toward Grand Rapids. If you're in Manistee, rain just starting to slide in to that area as well. So we'll take you through the next day or two what we expect. There's the rain currently. This will slide north. We'll stop this around the middle of the night. There's the rain reaching up into the UP, all the way down to Big Rapids. And there's tomorrow morning, the rain. There will be some wind along with this too. So it's going to be a windy, kind of rainy day tomorrow. A lot of cloud cover. through the afternoon and evening. You can see those showers. And then there's Wednesday. Now, notice Wednesday, there's not a widespread rain, but there will be some showers around. By the way, across the lake there, that white, that's snow. On the colder side of this system over in Wisconsin, in the western UP, they're looking at some snow during the day on Wednesday, not all that far away from us. Now to the wind. There's a look at things now. It's not too windy yet as this low continues to trek north, though, out of Kansas and lifts north. We'll see the wind picking up by tomorrow morning. So notice winds gusting. Look at Frankfurt, for instance, over 40 miles per hour perhaps tomorrow morning. A windy day. Again, that'll pair up with that rain, some cloud cover. The stronger winds tomorrow afternoon will shift north to the UP where you see that, purplish shading, orangish shading. Across the UP, gusty winds tomorrow. And then the wind will come down and then change direction tomorrow night out of the west. If you're wondering how much rain, I don't think an extraordinary amount, a quarter to maybe a half inch of rain is what we have in the forecast. Looking ahead here, well, not much sun in this forecast. Temperatures will remain pretty consistent. And the fact that we stay in the 40s through at least Sunday, I don't think we're going to get much snow mixing in. We'll deal with these off and on showers, Maya. So kind of typical November weather. A lot of rain, a lot of cloud cover.
Kind of bumming me out.
Yeah, me too.
That's okay. All right. Thanks, Joe. We're going to take another quick break, but we will touch base with sports director Harrison Beebe, see what he's working on today in the sports world right after this break. Welcome back, everyone. I did not ask Harrison what he plans on talking about today in sports, so this will be a surprise for all of us. Harrison, I'm assuming maybe you want to talk about that dominant Lions win a little bit? maybe?
We could, Maya. Is that what you would like to talk about today?
I mean, I could talk about that all day, but it's up to you. It's your time. Sports.
Well, let's give some shine to our area teams first. I'm wearing purple for a reason today. That's because we have an area state finalist for high school football. The Pickford Panthers won this weekend over Inland Lakes, so the Panthers will be heading back to the Superior Dome. They went in 2019 in Division II and won the state championship there. Now they're in Division I, but they're 12-0 for a reason. They'll be playing 12-0 Deckerville at an 11 a.m. kickoff at the Superior Dome up there in Marquette on Saturday. So we know Northern Michigan will have at least one state finalist. We might have two. We'll find out on Saturday as well. Boyne City will be in a state semifinal for 11-player football. The Ramblers taking on Lansing Catholic in Division VI, and the winner of that will then play at Ford Field the day after Thanksgiving on Black Friday. So a little drama up in the air for that, but we know Pickford for sure will be in the state finals and one win away from a state championship.
All right. Shall we talk about the Motor City Kitties?
We could, yes. We're talking about Ford Field. That is where there was a football game yesterday between the Lions and a team that I think is in the NFL, although they might have their NFL privileges revoked, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Not a pretty sight for them, but, having a backup quarterback play in the game in Mac Jones, they weren't going to have much of a fighting chance in that one, the Lions. And, the Lions, ironically, even against a good team, really wanted to have a bounce-back performance after really disappointing a lot of people in the first half of the Houston Texans game a week ago. So in a weird way, even though they won that game a week ago, they probably had kind of a chip on their shoulder, knowing a lot of people were second-guessing a lot of their moves before they were able to come back and win in that Houston game. So no doubt about it, they were going to be dominant in that Jacksonville game, and now they head on the road to Indianapolis to sweep the AFC South potentially, and we'll go from there.
All right, thanks, Harrison. That'll do it for sports. We're going to take another quick commercial break, but we'll be right back in just a few minutes. We'll take another look at our question of the day, the live results, and some live comments right after this break.
Salon services are furnished by Epiphany Advanced Academy in East Acme.
For our question of the day today, we asked how far will you be traveling for Thanksgiving? 63% of voters say staying home. 30% are staying in Michigan. 8% say traveling out of state. And on our live stream, we have a comment on Facebook from Dave and Becky. They say they'll be traveling to Clanton, Alabama, approximately 915 miles. Gonna have some fun with the kids, grandkids, and great grandkids. That sounds awesome. Dave and Becky, have so much fun. Safe travels to everyone who'll be traveling for Thanksgiving. I have a feeling I'll probably talk with you again before Thanksgiving, but in case I don't, enjoy it. That'll do it for Up North Live Unscripted on this Monday evening. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you tonight at 11 o'clock.